Construction work is respectable. It seems normal that problem kids in school might be talked down to, like, you fail this class and you'll be a construction worker. If that's the case, then construction workers are some high-paid failures. I've been told all throughout high school to get a 4-year degree in something, and by all means avoid Job Corps. As a result, I ended up working at a grocery store and paying my parents' rent for 10 years. Now I'm in a welding class. You know why? Because if I wanted a job after being educated as a doctor or a lawyer, too freaking bad, I could get all the education I want in those departments, and still struggle to get a job anywhere. I saw that welders were needed, so I went into a welding class. Now I'm hearing that no one wants to go into construction work because who would want to build houses for people to live in? Problem kids? Criminals? Even my teacher sees through that bull, so screw that. I'm just a guy who needs a skill that can get me a job. Period. Of course it is. However, no job should determine whether or not a person is respectable. You gotta work on that yourself. My cousin had reading issues and the teacher asked him if he wanted to be a ditch digger. That convinced him to quit school in 11th grade. He makes double the average in our area now. All work is respectable. I do get where you are going with this though, and always found it a bit amusing that the traditional jobs being used as a bad example actually pay pretty well. Carpentry and skilled trade are awesome. Wish I knew that when I was in school. I've literally never heard those opinions. That problem kids will end up in construction? Any skilled trade is a skill that's needed and can't be done by just anyone. I don't know the type of people you associate with, but maybe it's time to find better people. I'm not sure this is as unpopular as you think. That whole argument is a holdover from back when manual laborers wanted their own children to get through college and get office jobs where they didn't have to break their backs day in and day out. With the death of the middle class, it doesn't make sense anymore. If blue-collar workers are so dumb, how come they still have their unions? I think this is an American thing. On Love Island UK, so many contestants brag about being builders, and it's admired, sort of like firefighters in the US. It's not right to look down on people who do the work we all depend on for our basic needs. Carpenter here. Go work in construction. It pays good, and the stuff you learn is great for your personal life. I never thought or knew anyone thought that construction work wasn't respectable. I grew up working class, and construction work was always seen as cool and well-paying. Maybe it's because so many people in my neighborhood worked retail and fast food, so comparison. My first day on a construction site, the foreman said nobody comes here unless they don't have any other choice. I thought it sounded like a self-esteem issue. Ultimately I left due to the outrageous harassment, but the work itself was great. Practically all work is respectable, and I can't stand it when people badmouth certain jobs. As long as you enjoy the work and are aware of what it demands of you, do what you want that helps the world. $185,000 a year as a union electrician. No student loan debt, free healthcare, and 4 pensions. College is for rubes. Guys on our lineman in SoCal making $400,000, $650,000 not including living stipends. Duh, I spent 40 weeks getting paid by the government to learn my trade, left school with 0 student debt, and I make $12K a month doing camp work. Oh, I have to get dirt on my hands. Oh, the humanity. It's a job that is productive and improves society, and at the same time also is hard work. Of course it is. My only problem is it feels like construction dudes tend to have trashier raw way of talking. You can work in construction and act like a respectable person at the same time. I guess it's just because men together become real dudes when there are no women around. I don't mean the majority does it, but you're more prone to meet that kind of people there. Hell yes to trades. I work a trade, 2 years of school and straight into a unionized job with a pension plan and great benefits. My siblings all have advanced degrees and can't find work in their field. Guess who owns a house and is free of school debt? I was told all my life to be an engineer etc. whatever else. Turns out they pay less than trades in Australia. I build pools and honestly I agree, also being outside feels great. Respectable? It can be a very well-paid job. Any job is a respectable job in my opinion. All trades are respectable. Most people have that attitude towards them because they don't have best conditions and are dangerous. Trades is a great path to choose, especially with AI taking a chunk of white-collar jobs more than anything. You can easily get a job as a doctor if willing to relocate. High-paying ones too. But being a welder is just as fancy emo. We'd never seen someone shit on construction workers like that. Usually, it's McDonald's if anything. Trades work is extremely valuable and can be very high paying. It also tends to destroy your body. I'll be teaching at 70 just as much as when I was 40. My plumber can barely stand for more than 3 minutes, needs a walker to get around, and mostly just directs his brother while the brother does most of the work. He's 60 going on 85. Construction just seems like such a broad term for so many things with really varied degrees of pay. I went and took a STEM trade at age 27. I've worked steadily since and make $250,000 in a good year, $100,000 in a bad year. Best thing I did after university. I get sweaty and dirty, I walk 20k steps some days. I like my job. Have a college degree and am installing solar panels at 32, making the most money I ever have in my life. The difference is the outlook. 100k is a 100k, no matter what you do for a living. A plumber works a lot harder physically, and often has some mental gymnastics to do when completing their work, and the physical work can be hard and dirty. A lawyer is usually sitting in an office, or court, not doing a lot of physical work, almost all of it is mental. So the lawyer is seen as a better or more prestigious job, regardless of the paycheck at the end of the week. Construction work might be respectable, but your back will not respect you. It's really not that deep. Back-breaking labor will never be desired. Sorry. There is absolutely nothing wrong with doing work for a living. Anyone with a legal paying job that is taking care of their responsibilities should be proud of themselves. I applaud you for making a good choice and doing something productive. You can make a good living welding, and if anyone looks down on you for it, the problem is with them and not you. Good for you. I ain't gonna take over a tradesman's job. I dropped out of college and became an electrician. Last year I made about $400,000. All work is respectable. You are not your job. I've always thought construction work was respectable. Except roofers, those guys are criminals. Ha ha. Construction is a well-paying gig, plus the unions, transferable skills, and moving up the ladder. Sometimes the BS you deal with is like, hey, we need guys to work 6 days and but fuck it, more money and vacation sometimes depending on the job site. Weather kicks in and they say fuck it, go home guys, well try tomorrow. It's not only respectable, it's commendable. Construction workers, be they carpenters, electricians, welders or any, are responsible for the infrastructure that we all rely on and many take for granted. Being one who is in a construction industry field, I can say that things don't build themselves. I wonder if this is a regional thing. Construction workers, welders, and plumbers, electricians are very respected where I live. People love a person that have a hands-on useful skill. I feel like this shouldn't be unpopular. Yes, it's respectable. It's hard work and the pay can be good. I think it comes from the classic I busted my ass for you so you don't have to, so learn from my mistakes and get into a job career where you can just point fingers or make a ton of money doing almost nothing. At least that's what my dad told me, cause he busted his ass all his life and I can see why. Working in a trade and learning real life skills can make you and save you more than the average office worker.